it is inevitable to so many extent the way society is going to formulate and how digital world is going to and when I say digital world is the metaverse is going to become our daily life basically.
Meet your clients. So we are talking about the startups, about the new ideas for business. Today, my guest is Amin. He's a founder and co-founder and CEO of many business like Instazap, for example. And of course, I want to introduce Habib because today he's co-host of this episode. Hello, Habib.
Pleased to meet you, Amin. Pleased to meet you guys.
So, Amin, tell us something about your business and what are you doing in Dublin, because we've met in Dublin.
That's correct. First of all, thank you so much, guys, for having me. It's a great pleasure. I'm just a guy who likes to invent and build things and do something meaningful that even when we are gone, it stays. I'm a big fan of that saying, which goes as the purpose is not to just live, but to create something which will live forever.
If you are doing some stuff in tech business, IT tech business, and doing some apps, and they've got a short life because it's always something new. So that's my question: how you manage your goals? Because on our business, it's not that easy to do that.
That's so true. You see, the world we live in is ever so evolving every day, and when we think about technology, especially within our team, we look at technology which is going to enhance how world is going to look like in next 10-15 years. So Instazap, as you mentioned, is our center of focus. Personally, I'm invested more than anything else in Instazap. The reason being is it's a platform and its vision is to be one for all, super app for all your daily needs. And why do we think it's possible? About 500 years ago, most of us used to spend our time farming and gathering stuff, which we don't even in our lifetime, most of us don't even get the opportunity to do. The time evolved and revolutions, industrial revolution and everything else that came about. Today, we have the life we live. Similarly, we believe that in coming 10, 15, 20 years, the rate of innovation that is required to address the problems this world face, all hands must be on deck to solve the problems we are going to be facing. And from Instazap's perspective, you shouldn't really have to worry about who's going to look after the food or who's going to go do shopping or who's going to get that repairman to fix if something is not right in your house, or who's going to know you better than you know yourself because of your habits, and you sometimes don't even know why you do certain things. So that's the ultimate goal of Instazap, where we become a friend in your pocket.
Amin, you said you are inventor. And what does it mean to be an inventor these days? It seems like everything else is invented. So why do you call yourself an inventor?
I think it's there are two elements, okay? First comes the innovation, and then comes the invention, or sometimes, the other way around. The world we are living in, again, doesn't have the up-to-date solutions, which we really need on a daily basis. Our education system, no matter what part of the world you look in, is not really prepping us for the world we live in. And when you are thinking of life and the world in that manner, you need to sort of carve your own path, and you need to define and do things which no one else is doing and thinking of. So that's more of an essence of that statement I made, that you need to sort of think outside the box, and you need to be not afraid to not follow where the majority is going, and be afraid to go off the well-worn path. And it's crucial. And if we don't do that now, and if we don't instill all of those things into our youth and children, the world in 20-25 years is going to be very different. And if they are not equipped, then as a society, we will not have equipped, well-functioning systems in place, and that will ultimately result in havoc and chaos. And history is the biggest teacher, because it has actually taught us in so many ways that if we don't think of things proactively, then reactive measures are always costly, and you do not have enough time to deploy the solutions that are really going to be meaningful, and you're not trading off with something else. I don't know if that makes sense and if that answers your question.
It's very interesting because is that perspective is not very common, and I can see and I can hear that for you and for your path. It's I think the most important thing to answer about that questions. If I want to do something and I am gonna to invent something, I need to start from the beginning, from to answer a question about why I'm doing that, why I want to do that, what kind of impact it would have for our society, for our life.
It seems that you invested a lot of time thinking about the future, how it reflects on today's world, how you can run a business 25 years ahead in your mind, but still being present here. Is it, it seems like an obstacle. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
I look at business in simple terms, that you need to identify the real problem and give a solution. Okay. And that's very important. And it's very simple, but a lot of entrepreneurs and founders and people who start their businesses I would have interacted with over the years, they seem to lose that essence. They get too involved in the moving parts too early. So if you spend most of your time finding the real problem, which is really going to make a difference to your audience, you're going to ultimately have a solution which is going to be needed, which is going to be adapted. So doing business becomes sort of on an auto if you have your foundations correct, Okay. And this is how I look at business.
You have this CEO attitude and state of mind, because it seems that C-level people usually have to look forward to prepare their businesses. They have good colleagues that drive the company day to day, but they spend most of the time looking forward, as you do. But I have one question that is very interesting for me, because Instazap, it's a very energetic name, and I wanted to know who come up with the idea for the name.
Yes. And, I will answer both of your questions. So you asked me a question that, living in present and thinking 25 years ahead. How do you do that? Okay. And it comes with two things: having a clear understanding of the mechanism we follow on a daily basis, the world we live in. And the second thing is the mindset. Okay. So a lot of the people get either too excited about the future or get too narrow focused, that they become either irrelevant or they are too early for the market. Striking that balance is very important. And I often have used this sentence to describe Instazap as a platform, because community and people and human touch is very important for me. And that's there's a story that where I come from and what I actually believe in. But I often use Instazap example as being a bridge between the world today and the metaverse. I know there is a lot of hype and there are a lot of startups in this space, but it is inevitable to so many extent the way society is going to formulate and how digital world is going to, and when I say digital world is the metaverse, is going to become our daily life, basically. Okay. So why Instazap? Why start with something as basic as food delivery or grocery delivery or services, as I mentioned?
There are plenty apps like that. What is the
There are
difference?
plenty apps like that, right? But I highly doubt that the vision is there.
Okay.
But you need to start somewhere which is relevant. So why would somebody trust Instazap, or as a matter of fact, me as a leader of our organization to trust with their daily needs, or trust us that we are going to be that friend in the pocket who don't let you know let who doesn't let you down, basically, right? Today, when we talk about a lot of older generation, they have difficulties understanding how this technology, rapid evolvement that we have faced over the last few years,
Even we have.
and most of the times we fall into that trap. But what's the guarantee that people are not going to be left behind with this rapid advancement we are doing? And why would we leave certain people behind is important, is at the core of Instazap. So keeping relevant and making sure that we bring everybody up, with us, educate everybody and bring them to that stage.
I would actually like to understand a bit more. We speak about Instazap, but I still don't have a taste of what does this app do. And I would like you to try and sum up Instazap in 3 words. Is it doable?
Okay, so Instazap, instant needs fulfilled in minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Little
Get
bit
it,
more
get
than
it.
3 words, but yeah.
Get
But yeah, it's a nice catchphrase.
We started off, like I said, with just food and grocery, but it doesn't stop there. We can't be a super app for everybody in one go. We are still at our infancy, relatively, early stages. And although we have had amazing traction and we have a very loyal customer base, but we can't be a super app for all the demographics and all the avatars or user personas. Okay. So we take the approach one at a time. So we started with the students. Okay. And how we started with the students, first, they used to use us for their normal food delivery. Then we used to do their personal shopping, which is getting their groceries.
Then alcohol.
Then, yeah, absolutely, right? All that comes with it, vapes, alcohol, whatever they need. Then there was a time where they needed cleaners, and we provided them with cleaners after the messy party.
Okay.
Then they start breaking their electronics and phones, and we just picked it up, repair it while they are curing, getting recovered from hangover. And we pick it up, we get it fixed, and we bring it back because it was a messy night. So if you break it down in that manner, you can see that how we are a friend in your pocket.
So after 2 years of using your app, and you can fulfill all of my needs. That I don't need any other apps, and I can just stay at home, drink an alcohol, eat a lot of food, and you deliver me everything.
And down the line, we will actually give you the stats where you can literally track.
Wow.
Humans tend to do a lot of things when they're not aware of. Okay. So we are going to be that friend in your pocket who wants you to be healthy, who wants you to actually, live your maximum potential, because your input is very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Your contribution to this world is very valuable. So if each individual has that sort of, the solution, which is a friend again, then I think as human race, we will be facing the problems very effectively.
Business is not always about money, as we can clearly see. Thanks, Amin, for this very insightful conversation. It was a pleasure to meet you, and talk to you soon, hopefully.
Likewise, guys. Thank you and peace.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.